call you Shanaz because I've been saying Knox with an S at the end of it. All right, so now it's all about you. I'm going to hide the chat room so I don't like to talk to him. So, how long have you been a musician? That one, start with everyone else is the same thing. How long you been rocking and rolling?
Well, it's a funny thing. I'm 45 years old. I've been writing songs since I was a kid, but I've actually only been in the music business for less than a year.
Really?
Yeah. I've been writing songs all these years, like pretty much 35 years. I've been writing songs, and as a kid, I started off writing them more for myself. When I started to get into my late teens, I kind of started to get big dreams and big ideas. But then I kind of lost my confidence. Had some bad experiences that just kind of knocked the confidence right out of me, and I just wasn't comfortable singing in front of people anymore. And then, not to mention too, then you get married and have kids, and life gets in the way, and then suddenly you're getting to be close to that middle age time, and you realize, wow, like actually the thing that's kind of my biggest passion is pretty much non-existent in my life. So I just kind of decided to make a change. Just like, hey, it's never too late.
Yeah, it never is too late. I mean, for example, I put this show on hold for 15 years, didn't think I was going to do anything with it. And then until 3 years later, I was like, well, I wonder I should still do it, and here I am doing it. So it never is too late. Yeah, it never is too late.
You betcha.
So do you write your own songs from the beginning, or does somebody else help you with them?
No, I've always just written my own songs. On this album, my producer did have some songwriting credit on a couple songs, mostly because he just kind of changed them up and added little parts or whatever. But by and large, I do just write my own songs, and it's just kind of been really my passion all my life.
Mm-hmm. So. Now, do they start as poetry and then they move into songs, or how do they all work out?
I generally, they definitely don't start as poetry. I do write poetry too, but my poetry and my songwriting don't mix. The poetry is its own thing, and the songwriting is its own thing. So when I'm writing a song, it's definitely a song. I'm writing the lyrics and the melodies usually simultaneously. So. Okay.
All right. And so who has been your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, I'm actually, I kind of found sort of a kindred in New Zealand singer-songwriter Neil Finn, who's been in Crowded House and Split Ends. He kind of sort of, I guess, ignited my imagination, and I just kind of related to his songwriting when I was a teenager. And then later on, when I was kind of rediscovering that side of myself, I kind of got myself caught up with his more recent things, and found that it's still kind of connected with me now, I guess. And so that I guess I got a lot of inspiration there, and it's. I mean, I may have done this if I'd never heard of him, but I would have been a different songwriter, and I definitely this album definitely wouldn't be the album that it is if I wasn't a Crowded House Neil Finn fan.
Yeah, I think everyone has that spark. They actually light, nicks off your creativity and it sets you off. And so that Crowded House was probably yours, and here you are.
Yeah, and here I am. Yeah.
So you only have one album out?
I have one album out, and it just came out last year. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of my big leap, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad I did it.
How did you feel when you finally get your first album? What did it feel like?
Well, leading up to it was really stressful. For one thing, everything takes way longer than you expect, and you got this deadline. You decide you set this date for an album release, and there's all this panic to get everything done. And then the day comes. For me, when the day came when I had my big release party, and it was all my friends and family out on my friend's acreage, out of my friend's acreage. And it's kind of funny because I have always really struggled with stage fright. And the night of that CD release, when it was my music and I finally had this album, and I stepped out there in front of all my friends and family, first time in my life I ever felt comfortable on stage.
Oh, fantastic.
What a perfect time. I know. I mean, not that I don't get stage fright. I still definitely get nervous, but it's minuscule compared to what it used to be.
Uh-huh. Now, you say you're 45 years old. I'm 42. I'll be 43 in August, so I'm right the same kind of era you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, been there, done that. I've had my own anxiety that I had to work through to get through, through here too. So every time it's a show is getting ready to start, I have a little bit of stage fright, believe it or not. And then I come on here and here
totally.
we are. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally believe it. Well, I definitely had, I guess you could call it stage fright reading through the interview, but it's going pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Very, very proud of you for keep on going.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm proud of you, too.
Thank you. Now, are you going to go on tour soon?
I would really like to do a proper tour. I dove into this. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm kind of learning as I go. I've been playing in and around Edmonton. And as slowly, kind of as I figure this out, I really, really want to branch out and start touring more widely. Very much so, actually.
Now, are you wanting to tour in bars, or are you want to play in lounges? So what is your angle?
Well, I don't think I really fit in a bar. Singer-songwritery stuff doesn't really fit the bar thing. So, I mean, around here I've been doing more like kind of coffee house places, or sometimes there'll be like community events or whatever, where they want singer-songwriters to come. So, I mean, it's a little bit different for someone like me to tour, as opposed to somebody who's kind of more mainstream. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a little bit more challenging. So I'm still figuring out how to make that work.
You'll get there. I believe it.
Absolutely.
Because I'm hoping, Michael is hoping by next year, I'm hoping that I can be able to go on tour with the show.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
That would be so much fun. Very, very much fun. And going different places and broadcasting live from different places. And here's a musician from this day and all that stuff. So it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Now, are you the only one... now, this is your piece. Now, do you have more people helping you play the music behind your songs, or is it just you?
Right now, I have a longtime friend, Joe DeShane, who's my lead guitarist, and recently my sister Cindy has started singing background vocals for me. So that's been fun. Around the time when I was doing my CD release, I was playing with a full band for those initial shows, and that was actually my daughter's boyfriend's band were my backing band, and that was a lot of fun because they're all younger and fun bunch of guys, and that was a really good time. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they have their own projects too, so I mean, they couldn't really fully commit to my project, but it was really fun for a temporary situation, and I would totally enjoy playing with them again.
Fantastic. Now, do we have are you working on a new album here soon?
There actually is something new in the works. My sister and I are, we kind of have a duo project.
Really? It's so cool.
Yeah, we're just kind of playing with it right now. I'm not really entirely sure when that will come out, but we're just kind of playing around right now, and we're just going to try writing some songs together and see how that happens, since we're playing together anyway.
So, on songwriting, now, how long does it take you to write a song?
Writing a song can be really quick and easy, or it can be really long and painful. Sometimes something just kind of falls out of the sky, and it kind of writes itself almost in the time that it takes to play it. And other times, I'm writing a song and rewriting it. There's one song on my album that was kind of worked on over years. Mm-hmm. It evolved so much from the original version. So I mean, it really varies. Songwriting is either the easiest or the hardest thing in the world. It can be one or the other.
Do you ever get writer's block sometime?
Oh, for sure. For a lot of years, I would get it a lot. I started going to a lot of songwriting workshops and you just kind of learn some more tools, because I kind of used to sort of wait for inspiration to fall out of the sky. And when you do that, it's feast or famine. So I started going to a lot of workshops, just kind of learning kind of how other people are doing it. And I mean, and definitely everybody doesn't do it the same way. So you go to a lot of different workshops, you see everyone's different approach, and you play around with those different approaches, and you just kind of take what works and toss out what doesn't. And so now I kind of use those things more. So now I think I probably write more now than I used to, because I have those things, those kind of tools to draw off of. And actually, those songwriting workshops are how I ended up recording this first album, because I had gone to a workshop put on by an internationally respected singer-songwriter, Andy White. He's Irish Australian, and he's worked with people like Peter Gabriel and Sinead O'Connor, and actually Neil and Tim, and actually Neil Finn, my hero, and his brother Tim Finn, who I'm also a big fan of. And so I'd gone to his workshop, and he'd given me some really positive feedback on my songwriting, and said, you know, if you have other songs like this, why don't you record an album? And so because I had just kind of got that boost of, you know, that positive feedback, I had this momentary boost of confidence, and I just went out on a limb and said, so you'll produce it then? And he said, sure.
Wow.
So that's how and so then I have to go home and say, to my husband, like, by the way, I just decided today on a whim that I'm recording an album.
What did he say?
He was really good about it. He was great. I wasn't quite sure how he was going to respond, because I mean, it's a commitment and an expense and all of that, but he was great.
That's fantastic. Now, do you have all your family? Well, of course, your sister, because she's in a duo with you. But do you have everybody else is supporting you in all this stuff? Everybody's been so good. It's scary putting your original songs out there, because you don't know how it's going to come across, and the support has just been so overwhelming. Mm-hmm. I just don't even have words. It's been so great how everyone's been about it. Oh, fantastic! Now I have one of your songs queued out when you gave me. It's called "Tale of a Comet." Tell me about that one.
Yes. That song actually is one that my producer ended up having some songwriting credit on, just because he took my song and just kind of built it into something a little better. And that song is actually that song is really kind of about the place in my life where I was. It's about being someone who's reaching a point where you realize there's this emptiness in your life, and you're hopeless and depressed. Even I have struggled with depression, and just kind of looking for that strength in yourself. So there's a line in the song, "The looking glass could tell, I long to know you well," and so that's kind of the line that sort of gives away that this is a song. It's a song about someone offering support, but it's support to yourself. So it's just finding that inner strength to turn things around and kind of re-embrace that young person that's definitely still there inside of you, and hold on to that youthful energy and leap forward in life.
I hear you. All right, guys, here is Shauna Speck, right?
Yes.
Yes, I did it! Woohoo! And here is Tales of a Comet.
Smile, my friend, though you may not remember it now, you sure know how. You're a light from the tail of a comet that's just come down. And I still remember you believed in heaven on earth, all it's worth. You're a light from the tail of a comet that's just come down. There you go again, you blame it on yourself. Here we are again, a looking glass could tell.